Hey y'all, what is going on? It's your girl Michelle Wright. I have never gone live on YouTube before. I was not planning on doing this today, but I've had something that's been heavy on my mind, like since yesterday, and I was thinking about uploading a video, and like I keep putting it off, but it keeps coming back in my head. So I'm like, okay, let me just put it out there as soon as possible. Um, Y'all, especially if you live in Texas, but even if not, probably have heard. See if I can show this. Y'all can see this. Bottom, these three young boys, I think 6, 8, and 9 years old in Bonham, Texas, um, tragically lost their lives in a frozen pond. Just a couple of days ago. The mother jumped in and tried to save them. Uh, that she couldn't, and she probably would not be with us anymore if a football coach or coach from the school hadn't heard the commotion and come and thrown a rope to get her out because he saved her. Um, I cannot imagine. I can't imagine uh, losing one kid, much less three kids, and trying to save them and not being able to. And of course, there can be a lot of questions of like, why did she let them get close to the pond? Why were they outside, out of her sight? I'm not here to debate that or discuss that. My kids are college age now, uh, and I can think of a time when I was not paying attention like I should have, and it could have gotten hurt. And I was busy on my phone, and they were getting out the car. Um, to go to school. And I let my foot up off the brake or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, mom, wait!" And I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry." They could have gotten hurt, and that would have been negligence on my part. I can think of a time when I was just going about my normal, uh, you know, routine. We're in the parking lot. I'm trying to open the car so I can put them in the car seat or get the groceries in or whatever the case may be. And one of my kids just randomly reached underneath the vehicle next to us because I don't remember if they dropped a toy or they just saw something that they thought was a toy or something, but like it freaked me out for a second because I didn't know if the car was on, the vehicle was not on, or anything like that. But it was just like, oh my gosh, what if, somebody started backing up or something? They could have gotten hurt. But, it happened just like that. Thank God, you know, they weren't in any actual immediate danger, but it could have been a different story. So, I say all that to say I've been in an experience where like, okay, there was something where I wasn't doing that I was supposed to, where my kids could have gotten hurt, and there was something that where it was just a kid being a kid and they could have gotten hurt. So I'm not here to judge whether or not she had, any culpability. Um, all I know is she has to have like this crushing weight on her right now. Um, what made me want to that made me sad already. And then when I found out that they put up a GoFundMe page, then I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't have any insurance to pay for like the service and stuff. Oh man, and that's why I call this double tragedy because I'm just like, after having going through dealing with my mom passing and having to come up with some money in addition to the policy that she had, and fortunately having some family help me out with it. Like I know how it is when you're trying to like honor a person that you love, but you only have so much money. You're trying to figure that out. So dealing with that with your kids, I can't even imagine. And as an insurance professional, I'm like, that part is like totally preventable. Now, I did check the status of the GoFundMe page, and they actually have exceeded the amount that they were seeking. So thankfully, a lot of people have chipped in, and it looks like they're going to be fine concerning that as far as what they were trying to raise. And thank God for that. But we all know that most people, when a tragedy strikes, they're not getting statewide national news coverage or even worldwide. I saw that this story got picked up by the BBC, British news. Most people, when something like this happens, is family, church, a few friends, that chip in, and that's it, right? So the point of me making this video is just to please implore you, um, make sure that you have coverage on your kids. If you have grandkids, make sure your grandkids have coverage. That your son or daughter, whatever, got a policy on them, or if they don't, you can get one. As long as your kids, let you get a policy on them. And just real quickly, basically the two ways you can do that: you can get a policy just for them themselves. The main company I know that you can do that through is Gerber Life. That's actually how my kids got covered when they were like newborns. Um, and we're literally talking like $3 and change a month that I still pay to this day. Um, it may be a little higher depending on what age it is when you get it and how much coverage you get. You can get 5,000, 10,000, whatever on them. The other way that you can get your kid or grandkid covered is you do what's called a child rider. So your insurance policy, you have your insurance policy. You can tack on a policy to cover your child or grandchild, and that is called a rider. And usually they have to be 17 or younger. They can't be a legal adult, so you got to get them before their 18th birthday. And usually they'll be able to be covered with that policy until like 27, 26, 27, something like that. Kind of follows like with the healthcare thing. And, that way, if God forbid something happens when they're young, you have something to, pay for those services. But if they, as we all hope, grow up, to be an adult, they already have a policy in place, and then they can increase it if they would like to. So again, pray for this family. Cheyenne Hangaman, I think her name is. She has 3 other kids that are still living. Just pray for this family. Even though they had got good amount of donations on the GoFundMe page, they got a long road ahead. And when something like that happens, you're talking about being off work. You're talking about probably wanting to go to counseling. The kid, there's a lot of stuff. So, like I said, I just wanted to make this video to say, if you do not have any insurance coverage on your little ones, please do everybody, your family and yourself, a favor and get something on them for a few dollars a month. You can get some protection. I know a sister who I met through book projects and prayer call things like that. Had a special needs child, and her son passed away at a very young age. And I've heard of other people, kids, accidents and stuff like that. These things happen. For most of us, we're not going to deal with it, but you don't know. Okay. And so putting it off and not buying a policy is not going to extend your kid's life. Buying a policy is not going to shorten their life. God numbers our days. God knows how much time we have. We don't know. So again, check out Gerber Life to get a policy for your kid or your grandkid, or if you already have insurance on yourself, get in touch with your agent or your insurance company. Ask them about a rider. If you would like any personal guidance, you have any questions, if you know my number personally, just text me or call me. If you don't have my personal number, you can reach me at 682-738-5393, 682-738-5393. I am licensed in the state of Texas for life, health, and accident insurance and HMO. So I will, talk to you about what you're looking for, and I will steer you towards what I think is going to be good for you. Might not be something that I sell. I have a limited amount of carriers that I deal with right now. It might not be somebody I sell, but I know reputable companies and reputable agents that can get you signed up for the protection that your family needs. So, put it in the comments. Have you experienced? Do you have anybody that you know that's lost a child? And have to deal with that type of thing. Do you have coverage on your kids? Do you have coverage on your grandkids? I want to know. All right. So I don't know. Hopefully this was helpful or make you think. If you know somebody that needs to see this video, please share it. And let's pray for their family and just God bless. Bye.